Good evening. This is episode 188, I think, of live drawing. And tonight we're going to be working on a sketch cover for, obviously, of the Tick. This upcoming weekend on Sunday, I will be at my first convention show exhibition of the year. It'll be Harry's Comics and Collectibles show in Franklin, Mass. It's a show that's been around for 30 years. It's one of the staples of the region. I used to do it when it was back at the Attleboro show, and this is the first time I'll be setting up in Franklin. I'll be bringing Undersea Hero. I'll bring Baltimore Comic Con Tick. I'll bring the mini sketches that we've been doing. I'll bring all kinds of stuff. So I'll have Planet Comics with my cover on it. So all the new work will be there and some new artwork, and we'll try to just have a fun day. So thought I'd show off the John Lucas cover this week just because I think it is awesome. And I love John's work. This is me coloring his work. One other bit of news, we got the prints in for Little Giant. We did a set of prints for 3 of the covers. The artists that'll be there, let me see if I can get on. There you go. There's the exclusive badge. These will be going to the VIPs. That's the Joe St. Pierre artwork. So that is our first licensed thing out in the world as Undersea Hero. So tonight, like I said, we're going to be working on this sketch cover. It's been a long day for me, so if I'm dragging a little bit, I'm sorry. Let me get my gear out. Hope everybody's having a good night. I had a very long day, so thought we would do something a little different tonight. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we used to do, and we will hopefully be able to do again when we are done fulfilling Kickstarter things. Yeah. This is on a Baltimore Comic Con exclusive cover. This was the one that Jeff and I published together, and it has what is currently the last Tick story published by NEC. The Tick is obviously appearing in Planet Comics, which is very exciting. And I did one of the covers. I'm gonna see if this stuff works on here. I don't know if it will. No, I don't think it will. People swore by these pens at me for years, and they really only work on certain things. So we'll have to use the old tools that work. I'm gonna have to redraw some stuff because it's like a blunt instrument. This technique can be tough for people that are very precise. Because you want to add a little bit of extra, but you can't go outside the main lines because you can't erase. And when that dries, we'll go back in and we'll clean that up. Hey Desiree, I'm gonna readjust my camera a little bit. It seems to have shifted. There we go. That way I don't have to lean as far forward and people can see the whole sketch at least. Yeah, day job work ran late today, so. I have the wrong pencil. Thanks. Trying to have something fun. And with these sketch covers, I don't know. Like I bought them. You know, the Baltimore books have a cover by Dwayne on the other side, but I really bought them just to draw on them and sell drawings on a book. And I don't know. I think sketch covers have become less popular. So it's like, how do I just sell the book? I know that on like the eBay or whatever that the book is trading at a significant number without a drawing, but I would think that since I did the interior, it would be more desirable. But I only got to draw Chainsaw Vigilante once for NEC. It was on a variant cover, actually. One of the Boston variants that I did many moons ago. Got the start of baseball season. Very exciting. Although your team's probably going to win the World Series again. Hey, Patrick, that's correct. And actually, yeah, the only tick publication that I'm aware of coming out is the Planet Comics. And I actually designed a 40th anniversary logo that is being used for it. I kind of modeled it off of the first Bonanza trade for, what was it, the city. Yeah, I think the Dodgers have all the chance in the world to, win again. They signed they got all their core players. They brought back some of their other role players and stuff. So, yeah. No, I'm not excited for the hegemonic empire of the Los Angeles Dodgers dominating the league this year. The only person who is Desiree, who is a Dodgers fan, and that's right, Patrick. Hard to compete with Goku on the roster. Super Saiyan Otani. I remember people calling into sports radio around Boston saying, "There's no way Otani's worth that money," and yeah, yes, he is. He is that good. Oh no, you've got a couple of injuries, like your bench that has like all stars on the bench, or they'll have to find a way to band together and be a plucky underdog, I suppose. There we go. Oh, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. I don't know if I'll ever get to see him play in person, but AC's a guy I would, you know, pay extra to go see play baseball. Chainsaw Vigilante is actually a character that they were very protective of at NEC. They didn't want to use him very much. I pitched him for like several stories. Because I always thought that one of the things that made the tick special was that it could comment on what was going on in mainstream comics without being burdened by, I always felt that when DC made fun of itself or Marvel made fun of itself, it was always like, haha, but we don't really believe this. And it always protected their IP. And I thought that there was a lot of room to say something about the proliferation of vigilantes, anti-heroes beyond, the Punisher and stuff. It seemed like even regular old characters were becoming uh, murderous vigilantes. Do the Dodgers have their own network like the Red Sox do? They have Nessence, and all the games are on Nessun. Do you guys have a Dodger channel, or is it on like just local like affiliate or whatever, like ABC or Sportsnet LA? Oh, okay, okay. So you have like a regional channel that covers like a bunch of stuff. Gotcha. On fancy schmancy cable. We have a thing where if you subscribe to the team's channel, the Nessun app, that you still don't get all the games. Like the Bruins games will sometimes be on ESPN or one of the other channels, and we can't watch it through the app. Which is crazy to me. If I'm paying a ludicrous amount of money to watch just those games, I should get all the games, I think. Baseball talk. Woo! I was happy there's one player for the Red Sox that made the team, Connerly Early. He's the guy that started the elimination game in the playoffs, and he's real young, and they didn't know if he was going to make the team out of camp, and he did. So I'm excited to, happy for him, and want to see him play. Doing your taxes tomorrow. See, yep, it's that time. Did mine over the weekend. Yeah, exactly. Local blackouts too. Yeah, if it's on like one of those other channels, can't watch it. It's annoying. I think I saw there's some baseball on Netflix too. don't know how that's going to go. But I started this sketch cover ages ago, but because of all the box doodles and everything going on, and I have another thing I haven't announced yet that I had to do. Patrick, I did see that the Montreal Expos documentary. That was actually pretty entertaining. I remember that team. I remember that season. Hey, Martha's the 1994 strike was absolutely a life-changing moment. I would say it was when I was 10 years old, at the height of like just being obsessed with baseball, and then there was no baseball. The more I've read about the stuff like the idea that Bud Selig is in the Hall of Fame, I am continually disappointed by that. Hey, Martha's, I'm doing okay. I'm tired. It was a long day, but I'm glad to see folks and to be working on this sketch cover is something I enjoy. How are you doing? I don't know if anybody's read the original. Yeah, allergies. It's the start of that season. Yeah, the original Chainsaw Vigilante miniseries that NEC put out, but it was drawn by Xander Cannon, and it's I still think one of the best things that they ever published. And Xander is a super nice person. If you ever see him at a convention, I highly recommend just popping over and saying hello and check out his other new stuff. He just wrapped up last year a multi-year run on his book Kaiju Max. You think you may have hit a snag? Just don't have time to do it. Totally understand. It's just a fun gag thing that we're doing as pals. So if people have deadlines and stuff, those are always life things. Those all take precedent over just like doing a goofy one shot. We should get Patrick. You should write something for it if you want to. That's actually an interesting question. If all the issues aren't public domain, does that mean you can't use the character? Um, that's actually not true. You just can't use anything that was created after the stuff that was public domain. Like a famous example is Felix the Cat. Like Felix the Cat is public domain, but like his Magic Beans bag and stuff are not um, public domain, so you couldn't use that. Hey, it's Joshua. Yeah, Chainsaw Vigilante was one of the characters that NEC protected, and I only got to draw him, I think, on one cover, and maybe in the background of the wedding issue. I think I snuck him in there. I do. I think I snuck him in the background of one of those pages. And I'll have this sketch cover available at Harry's show this weekend. And if it doesn't sell there, I'll take it to the Little Giant show. That's the next one. So I will probably be opening my web store in April. Um, I just don't have everything hammered out yet because I do have to do some updates to it, and I've got to change some back end stuff. They've taxes have changed exactly. Okay, some of the supporting characters, I see. Well, you can always kind of make your own kind of like amalgamy version of the background characters. Use the archetype. Yeah, yeah. No, it's good to do the research and to be sure. You don't want to put it out and then have to pay a bunch of money to some random comic publisher that bought the rights at some random time. And that's a crazy thing about some of those comics. Like, I know some of the Charlton properties have been split up over various ownerships over the years. There's a guy up in Canada that bought some of the characters. There's DC, of course, bought some of the characters, and then some of the characters reverted back to their original creators, like uh, Pete Morrissey, who created Thunderbolt. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I have no idea. I'm not sure. It depends on the license and the rights holder how they want to proceed, I suppose. Action Comics #1 won't be public domain until 2034. Yeah, if I live 8 more years and I can still draw in that time, I could hypothetically draw a Superman comic. I actually do know people that are drawing comics now, and I think some have mentioned this on their own podcasts and in their Substacks and stuff, that they're actually drawing Superman stories now in preparation for him becoming public domain. And he's the first character I've heard like that. We've had um, various characters become public domain, like Popeye and take your pick, Winnie the Pooh. But I didn't hear of anyone like making comics in advance of that happening. Like I have for Superman. Like there are creators making Superman comics that will come out um, as soon as it becomes public domain. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously been that's a good point, and there's obviously been a ton of Sherlock Holmes stories done over the years. And then, of course, if a character is public domain, he or she's name might still be trademarked. So you have to check the trademark situation. I've considered a Popeye cameo for an Undersea Hero, but I feel like it's just too on the nose. I'd have to come up with some way of doing it that I felt was not forced or gimmicky and fit the situation. Like it literally would have to be like something along the lines of they've always known each other or something. 45 pages is a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times people do it just to do it, and I also really am avoiding pop culture references because I think it really dates humor work. Um, you know. Oh, you're probably right. For the movie situation, yeah. But I mean, well-known comic creators are making comics in anticipation of that becoming public domain. People you saw on the Wizard Hot 10 list back in the day. I was never satisfied with my Arthur. I always thought that Dwayne, between the two of us who worked at that period of NEC Comics, had the better Arthur. Yeah, that's exactly right, Patrick. Yeah, that's largely how I look at it. If and look, I may never figure out a way to do anything like that that fits. Like I don't want the characters to be like, man, let's talk about how AI is causing crippling depression in creators like the guy working on this comic across the country. How would a comic read today that was commenting on NFTs? Like that kind of a thing. That's what it is. It's too far to the left. It looks goofy. Yeah, I think certain cartoonists absolutely thrive with that sort of environment, but it does, I think, create a shelf life for work. I mean, there's that weird period of time where, like, it's between relevant and nostalgic, where it has this period where it becomes just, I don't know, just tough to move. And it's different if you're a cartoonist that's constantly doing new stuff that's like boom, boom, boom. Like here's I'm just talking about what's going on right now. I'm just not that creator. Recently wrapped up a Netflix Wednesday fanfic for Archive of Our Own. I mentioned that Morticia got teary-eyed over Ken Burns' Civil War series from 1990. A dapper young man named Gomez gave her a handkerchief. Wednesday never forgave Ken Burns for that. Wow, the Ken Burns documentary from 1990 is now, you know, 36 years old, so it is nostalgic at this point. I'd be very happy if we get this done. I think I gotta replace the bulb in my lamp soon. It keeps blinking on me. Hey, I'll see you there, Patrick. You as well. Thank you. Is this an LED bulb? I don't know. generally pick my light bulbs based on what's on sale right now. Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Drawn the tick for many years, so had lots of practice. Feels like old Saturday morning cartoons ads and comics in the 80s. Yes, I'm that old. Yeah, hey, we're all racking up the days on the calendar. It's already 8:45. My goodness. Yeah, I mean those are the comics I grew up reading, grew up grew up with. So they made Arthur the Moth cute nerdy for the Amazon series. Yeah, I would say he would appreciate that. Back at San Diego Comic Con when the Tick series was first coming out, I was there and we did a meet and greet with the whole cast, and we signed stuff together. You know, Griffin Newman, who played Arthur, I'd see him a bunch of times over the years. Brian, good to see you. Hey, I'm really glad to hear that you everything went well with your medical stuff and that you're on the mend. So, three cheers for Brian. Hip hip hooray. When I was a kid, they used to have mixed packs of comics at the video rental store. So um, that was a place, another one of those random places where comics were showing up because at the time they were just printing so many of them, and they had to do something with them. See, you always hear Patrick Warburton's voice, but I always hear Townsend Coleman from the cartoon show. We've talked about this. When I wrote the series or worked on the comics, when I read the scripts as I was working on the books, I always heard it in Townsend's voice. That's not to say I didn't love Patrick's rendition. But when Townsend would do those like soliloquies at the end of the episodes, that was definitely the. Oh yeah, they mixed Marvel and DC together at the video rentals place, and that was actually the first place where I read Valiant comics. You know, before that, we had a newsstand, but I didn't have a comic store until later, and this is one of the Baltimore books actually, where we Jeff and I published these, so I decided I wanted like a double cover so that we had Dwayne's cover on one side and then it was a blank on the other. You know, I had the option of doing a cover, but I thought in the long run, having the blanks would be good. And you can tell it's the Baltimore one because there's no logos on it. There's no weird stuff on it. Where Bob, the art director, would just slam crap like in there. Yeah, the old Valiant comics. Some of them I really enjoyed. My buddy Joe St. Pierre created Secret Weapons. I enjoyed his run on that. I enjoyed. I actually really liked their run of Magnus Robot Fighter that James Brock, Ernie Colon, Paris Cullens did issues. Yeah, they did some good stuff in that. Steve Ditko, inked by Ralph Reese for like 3 or 4 issues, was dynamite. I think that was, you know, Steve Ditko, great artist, but I think that was some of his last great stuff. Jonathan in here, he dug him some Valiant comics. He enjoyed himself some Valiant comics. I know they've relaunched the company like several times, but I don't know what's become of the stuff. I've seen your random Bloodshot cover here or there over the years. I've never worked for Valiant, so I really just don't know anything about their business. Sean Chen, I like Sean Chen stuff. Sean Chen's run on Wolverine is criminally underrated. I think it's the best thing that Thierry ever wrote, and I think the drawing's excellent. Jonathan says, love their watercolors. Yep. That was one of the selling points on the books, I remember, because we were of the age that they were selling those books to, and the fact that they were colored so richly was definitely a selling point for me as a fan when I was. Acclaim buyout was mad, but I do like the 2010 version. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Acclaim use. I honestly, like, I just didn't. Some of those books I just never saw when they were new. I would see them in those mix packs, like I told you about, but I wouldn't see them like on the newsstand. I've never met Sean Chen actually. We've been at the same shows before. He was at Baltimore and not that far away from me. The last time I was there, I just didn't have time. I'm hoping I have time at the Little Giant show to get some stuff signed for myself. I have 2 pages of artwork that I would like to get the artist and writer to sign. 2 artists and a writer, I think, is what I need to get signed on those pages. Or 2 writers and an artist, actually. I've got a Thunderstrike page that Keith Williams inked and Tom DeFalco wrote, and they'll both be at the Little Giant show. But met and worked with a lot of the Valiant guys over the years. Obviously, Joe St. Pierre, who did a cover for Undersea Hero, my creator-owned book. Pat Broderick did some work for him. Ralph Reese, Mike Vosberg, all guys I've worked with over the years. Archer and Armstrong, the book that Mike Vosberg did, he always said that he loved working there because it was one of the first jobs he ever got where the editor just said, we want you to draw how you draw, not about the person who came before you, or not like someone popular or mimic this stuff. Like they wanted him to be himself, and that was one of his favorite experiences in comics. And he's written about it in his blog Voswords. So if you don't have to take my word for it. It's a rare thing. I very rarely had it myself as far as any of the mainstream gigs people that have seen my work on. Usually they hand me a style guide or pretty in-depth instructions. Even working on the tick, they were usually very strict about it. The tick cycle issue where the tick is riding the tick cycle up into and destroying the logo. That was the one time where they said do whatever you want, and the editor, not the editor, but the publisher George actually stood by me for that one. That one I'm pretty proud of. So when people ask me what my favorite tick cover I did was that one. For NEC at least. Have to get our ruler to finish this one off. We can do the background. We can get ourselves some motion lines. Not going to go too crazy with them. We'll do a few just to give it some depth. I thought about doing like filling in the background and then doing cross hatching like a spotlight, but I decided against it just for the style of the movement. I didn't want to slow it down. Any hacks or advice for me on keeping this guy consistent in and out of his mask when he's been drawn by several people? Hacks for drawing consistent. Well, are they asking you to draw it like the other people that drew it? Otherwise, just, if you have any like anchors, like if the character has like a defined chin or nose or something that would show through the mask or whatever, and then the other hack would be just having some gestures that mirror one another. That was actually one way where I, in a story of a masked character that gets unmasked at the end, I had, I think, 3 panels after they're unmasked and while they're masked where they're standing in the exact same pose. Hey Jay, good to see you, man. Let's get ourselves centered here. About here. What's new, Jay? What are you working on tonight? I saw they announced you for Wicked Comic Con. In the car. I don't know, Jay, with your propensity for multitasking, I could see you like in the car, music playing, beverage open, sketchbook open on the passenger's seat, and you're kind of like leaning over at stoplights and like filling in some random color or something. I could see Jay Kennedy doing that. It's like uh, it's like Dennis Reynolds eating cereal in traffic. I could see Jay Kennedy drawing in traffic. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Desiree. You got the references, so. Oh, there you go. Yep. Also yelling at someone on the sidewalk. Yep. And it's somebody who he thinks he knows, but doesn't know. Yeah. Yep. Dude, how you doing? And then it's someone he doesn't know. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. You got the refs. It's the implication. It's the implication. I think Jay left. He was seen and he left. Oh yeah, throw in some profanity. I do believe that there was a conversation that was had where it's not a hate crime if it's a term of endearment. That's right, Desiree. He left because of the implication. Nothing's gonna happen. No, no, no. But the implication. I when we did the print run for Baltimore, I bought a bunch of blanks just to have them because like I drew the tick for so long that honestly I could do sketch covers of the tick. I think and have them for what's the term? What's the corporate term? Evergreen. Evergreen. It's like somebody who worked on Spider-Man buying up a bunch of Spider-Man. I have considered buying a pile of Ninja Turtles, but to be honest, I don't have as much fun drawing the Ninja Turtles. And while the Ninja Turtle gigs I did open some doors for me, I don't have the affection that I do for what those what I did as I do with the tick, I guess. Because I did so many interiors that I felt like I was really there. With the Ninja Turtles, I just did variant covers, so I always felt like it was just a passing thing. Yeah, that was one of the reasons we went with um, the blank backs on the Baltimore book was because we wanted to have the sketch covers. I met both Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and being in New England, we have tons of TMNT alumni around, like Michael Dooney and Jim Lawson and Eric Talbot. I've gotten to meet all of them over the years. I was hoping to meet Peter again since I'd worked on the Ninja Turtles, but I have not met Peter. I have not seen Peter at a show since I worked on the book years ago. I actually have a cover signed by It was the first Jenica, the first appearance of Jenica. I have a cover that I've been getting signed by basically anybody that ever worked on the Turtles that I meet, and I've got Kevin on there, and so Desiree says TV critic she knows is posting about baseball on Netflix, and they say it's dire. I believe it, you know. And I'm a guy who likes to actually watch. I love the minor league baseball package. It's only like $30 for the whole year, and you can watch every game by every team that's televised. And I've watched some pretty abysmal TV from there, and you know, but there's the love. Like you can tell they love the team they're covering. So like I don't know, I would have a hard time thinking that Netflix loves the baseball that they're covering. One thing I've been trying to be better at, and I've been really bad at it, is leaving a space to write my name on this thing. And yeah, you want to watch the game. I totally agree. Like it's better off having just the mounted cam in center field, and yeah, I totally agree. And what I usually do, like I said, talked about many times, is I will write like what I've done on the book, and on here I haven't figured out where to do that because I don't want to mess it up on here. So maybe I'll write it here on the credits page. Well, I'll probably noodle at it a little bit, but I think we got our cover sketch there. Kind of want to add a little more shadow to this. There we go. I think we'll call it a night. Thanks everybody for coming to hang out. It was nice to actually finish something on the stream for once. So I hope everybody has a good weekend and enjoys the new baseball season. It was really good to see you, Brian, and hear from you and that you're doing better. And yeah, I wish everyone a good weekend and a good night. So I'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.